Hello.
Hello. We're sitting in the back of our box truck. Why? Because in front of us is where the what is it called?
The Great Colorado Airshow is happening here in Loveland.
What's cool about being a local in the Loveland, Colorado area is you know where to go park so that you can go see the space.
Yeah.
And this air show in the past has brought a lot of traffic and caused issues on the interstate and all sorts of stuff because so many people love it and it's so popular. And so we decided to get up this morning and take the big truck with us because we could put the lift gate out. I'll show you that in a minute. And Sully could come with us and we'd have plenty of shade, which is prime real estate when it comes to air shows and especially in Colorado, right?
Yeah, I mean everybody else out here in their camping chairs in the back of their pickups and stuff, and
yeah,
we're sitting in the back of our nice shaded box truck. It's pretty cool.
Well, and it's pretty fun because there's a mom with 2 kids next to us, and they're utilizing the shade that the box truck is casting for their family, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, what have we seen so far? Because we just started recording. We're probably noon now.
Yeah, 11:30.
Yeah, and they started about an hour ago, and we've seen a couple acts, but
yeah,
we're waiting for the big ones to show you guys because we're not super close. But
yeah, we're not at the airport. We're just like up the hill at the Blue Arena. Mm-hmm. So like we could see the whole entire airstrip from here. It's like all the way that way, all the way that way, and so you can see the whole thing happening right in front of us, which is great. So I think we've seen a couple of like prop planes go out and do a couple things, and we just saw a big old something moving across down through there because we could literally see the runway from here. I see these like red and orange or red and yellow cone things that they put up along the runway, which is interesting. Probably just giving everybody dimensions of the runway and the performance space. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then like what we saw is that it looked like to me it was like some kind of German bomber or something that went across there and maybe he's going to take off here shortly. So that would be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get to do this. But yeah, we're in the back of our truck, and I'll show you the view we have right now. So this is the view from the back of the truck. We've got our tailgate down, our lift, and Sullivan is hanging out with us. He's enjoying the time. But yeah, we've got all sorts of people sitting around out here. Out there is the runway. And so they're doing the air show like literally right in front of us here. So I'll try to catch some of it for you guys, but it's fun because when the aircrafts are doing their thing, Nate has some great commentary. I thought you guys might enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, is that the plan? So I'll be like, wee, woo, yeah.
Kind of like our drone show, Nate.
But yeah, I like did the drone. Yeah, but that one is like goofy. That one was goofy because we were like, I don't know what this is going to be.
Okay.
Oh no, it's the big giant bear in downtown Denver. Yeah. It's the weird demon horse at the airport. Yay.
Right? Yeah. Okay, this so explain to everybody what your hat is.
My hat? Oh, yeah. What does it say? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one. He has a large collection of hats.
Yeah, this one's from Alien, the first movie, Alien. It's the ship. In the first movie, it goes out to LV-426 and tries to save the colony that was trying to make that planet happen. They got attacked by the aliens, so in it, everybody dies except for Sigourney Weaver. So that's what it's from. It's not a military thing, but it looks military.
Well,
it's from a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we're waiting
for
the
nerds know.
Yeah, the nerds know. Does that mean you're a nerd?
Maybe.
So we're waiting down there. So if you see the angled building right there, that's where we saw aircraft coming and going. And obviously the interstate's in front of us, the frontage road real close, but let's see if I can zoom in. Down there, those are those cones that Nate was talking about in the airstrip area. Let's see what we can come up with here. See if we can show you some stuff. All right. Somewhere over there, some airplanes just took off, and we're going to see. Is that the glider, Nate? That looks like the glider that's getting pulled up.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see it over that building over there, but there, let's see if I can get it. It's kind of flying off that way.
Yeah.
You see it? Probably gonna be all blurry. It's gonna be funny, and that's fine. But they're gonna take the glider up. Gliders are cool because they look like they're just like a bird, really. You know?
Well, and the things you could do with gliders, because you don't have power, so you're having to rely 100% on the momentum of the glider,
right?
And the height of the glider. So it's kind of more like riding a roller coaster, frankly,
right?
Because you have to like use it to get high and then drop down. Yeah, see, there goes that military plane. It's taking off too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bunch of parachuter jumper dudes.
Ooh, that would be cool. It's gonna take off. They're gonna be like in this zone. See it there? See it there? Let's see. There it is. Taking off. Where's it going? Past the tree. There it is. There. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that one is too. You see the glider anywhere still?
They went around that way.
Are they?
I mean, they got a circle to get way up high, so.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the reality of someone trying to hang out here, trying to get internet, we're trying to hang our phones out. Where are they at? See them? Hear them?
That's kind of.
You see that up there? Hot on your toes, Sully. There's the aircraft with the glider. Alright, so while that glider is being pulled up, I don't know if you guys can see it, but up in the sky about there is that military aircraft. So we're waiting to see what that is. Okay, so they just threw a streamer out coming down kind of about there in the sky from the aircraft that's over here now. So that means they're probably checking for parachute stuff, right, Nate?
Yeah, so, yeah, the parachuter dudes, I don't know what these guys are probably called, halo drop guys, I don't know.
Parachuter dudes, I like that.
Yeah, so they're checking with that thing, they're seeing what the wind direction is, where it's going.
I don't know if you guys can even see that over there. Let's see. A little streamer in the sky. I'm trying to get reference, like, basically there. Blurry finger cue now, right? Anyway, it's falling pretty much straight down. So that's a good sign for parachute, don't you think?
Yeah.
Haven't seen the glider since they made a loop behind the truck here that we're in. But if I try not to make you too car sick, the aircraft for the parachuters is up there somewhere. So we're waiting to see what happens next, y'all.
5, 6.
Okay, what are you seeing, Nate?
Okay, so we see 6 parachuter dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. We're looking in
7.
the sky for guys floating around. There's some up here. They're like little specks floating around, you guys. Took them quite a while to get up to altitude for this.
Yeah, it was a good 15 minutes.
Yeah. They're up there, coming down. So literally, like, if you follow this line kind of like that, that's where they are.
The lowest guy's got a flag that he's
yeah, he's got a flag. So he's kind of there. Let's see if I can get in closer.
Looks like they all have flags. That guy's just staying way high. So he's doing something.
Well, and if I zoom back out, so there's this one that's like in this zone, and he's hanging out, but everybody else is like through there. Pretty cool. See if you can see him.
This guy's coming all the way down.
They're coming in for a landing.
Comes in drops.
Whoa.
Landed.
Pretty cool. I hope you guys can see it. I bet you can. Really cool. So the Boulder, Colorado. Is it Boulder or Longmont, Nate, that they do parachute practicing?
Yeah, I think it's Longmont out there by
That's right.
Hygiene area.
Yeah, so the Longmont, Colorado area, they have an airport where, what is it, like we would drive through on weekends or whatever, and they had a club that was um, parachuting.
Yeah.
That was cool to go over and watch. I wonder if they still do that. I know they had a parachuting tragedy a couple of years back, and I haven't heard anything about the club since. But isn't it funny? You can see the interstate and you see parachuters coming down. It's the coolest thing. Totally Americana thing to do. Now they're going in behind that tree. See that tree? That tree's in the way. That's okay. They're coming in for a landing. Let's see. At the base of the tree, like not the base, but it's coming in landing right there. He touched the ground. So cool. And here comes the next one. They're all landing like here. See it? That is cool.
The last guy
And the last dude is like trying to find the cloud. He's up here. He's basically in this zone. If you can see it. Taking his time with an American flag on his feet. Really cool. Just floating around. That's got to be really peaceful, honestly. Don't you think, Nate?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. Good old red, white, and blue coming down.
Yeah, I always wanted to do a paraglider.
Did you?
Basically a parachute with a power motor on your backpack, and
yeah. My dad wanted something like that. I wonder, is it called paraglider or is it? Remember, it's about to go behind that tree. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go behind our infamous tree here. So pretend there's a parachuter up here, because he is. He's just behind our tree. It's coming down on the opposite side here, so about here. Coming down. Something that's cool about this is my first air show with you, Nate, after my grandfather passed away.
oh yeah.
So we would come here and he'd wear his military suit, his military uniform from the Army Air Corps. Do you guys know what the Army Air Corps is? That guy just landed on the ground too. So the Army Air Corps was the first Air Force type branch, part of the Army, that was developed for the crews for World War II. And my grandfather was in the 303rd Bomb Group, aka the real Hells Angels, is what they were called. And his aircraft had the triangle shape with a C in it, and his aircraft was affectionately renamed because when he got it, it was called Sweet LaRonda. But him and his crew, they decided to rename it Lady Patches. And why? Because it had so many shrapnel holes from the anti-aircraft guns that they had flown it through before he got it. And then they successfully did 22 missions in Europe before the war ended. And she gained a lot more shrapnel holes in the time. One of the things that my grandmother kept in the hope chest that I now have was in a little kind of like a clear pill bottle or something like that. And in it was a pin that she gave Grandpa to wear with his uniform whenever he flew to think of her. And he had that pin on, and when the shrapnel came flying through at his chest, it hit that pin and saved his life. And pretty cool story, I think. Pretty special. But that man was an incredible man, and she was an incredible woman. And that is why we use them as the inspiration for our family's graphic novel and stories that we've been writing for our superheroes. But air shows make me think about them a lot. How about you, Nate?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that story. I think that story is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of those kinds of stories where people were carrying a Bible or they were carrying something like that, and it, protected them from the shrapnel. I think also, an epic part of what your grandpa's stories were too is the fact that he never lost a team member in those 22 missions he was doing stuff. It was towards the end of the war when they were pretty much wiping everybody out. So there wasn't a whole lot of pushback by the time he was flying over there in the last days of the war, but that last year or so, because we'd pretty much destroyed him by that point. So there wasn't a lot of, fighters coming back at him. But he did tell stories about seeing other planes getting taken out of the sky, and he told stories about like experimental jets blasting past him at speeds he'd never even seen in his entire life. He said that creeped him out pretty bad. So there was a lot of things I think that he did see because the end of the war was pretty desperate for those guys. So that was pretty intense. Oh, here comes a plane.
Oh,
doing some
well, clear over there. Over where?
behind
over
the
there.
tree.
No, right? Let's see. He's going up in the clouds, so he's up in that area, guys. Yeah, one of my favorite stories of my grandfather watching these guys be daredevils makes me think of him. Is he took that B-17G aircraft. It was a bomber. And, oh, look at that guy. That's cool. Sorry, gonna see if I can get you in closer. The guy's just falling and doing all sorts of crazy. I'm gonna leave it wide. My grandfather took, at the end of the war, he took delegations of, I guess they were political delegations. Military delegations.
People,
yeah, to go see the ravages of the war, and just to have an aerial view of all the damage that was done. Look at that. That is just incredible. And one of my favorite things about my grandfather was he was very self-controlled, mild-mannered, but fun man. And he had an incredible sense of humor. But when he was young, as a flyboy, as the captain of the pilot of his aircraft, when he did one of those delegation trips, he was able to transfer the aircraft through France. And there's myth and legend about different people doing different things with their aircraft during that time. And one is, and I haven't yet been able to re-find the picture. I found it a long time ago. A B-17 flying underneath the Eiffel Tower, and another one with its wingtip almost touching the top. Golly, that guy's great. Of the Eiffel Tower, going around the top of the Eiffel Tower with his wing almost touching. And the reason that photograph is important to me is my grandfather was the one doing the circling of the Eiffel Tower with his B-17 almost touching the top with its wing all the way around it. And it was his buddy that flew underneath the Eiffel Tower with his B-17. These guys were very skilled, and Grandpa always said it felt like his own skin. He knew what the aircraft was supposed to feel like. And there was a time where, a few years back before he passed away, he was given the opportunity here at this airport to ride on a B-17 that had been rebuilt. And he got in it, and he was in his 90s at this point, and I think most people think and assume that people in their 90s don't have their wherewithal with him and their wits, but my grandfather had his wits about him. And he got in that aircraft, and the pilot that flew it, Grandpa was furious because the aircraft felt wrong. He said it was fighting the pilot the whole time, and that he was not maneuvering the engines and doing the controls in a way that would make the aircraft stop fighting the pilot. And I thought that was very interesting about his thoughts on that. He was very frustrated when he got off. He's like, they wouldn't let me show him or talk to him or tell him what I know about the aircraft so that he could make it easier on himself and better for the aircraft to fly. And he was never about his ego. He was always about teaching and making sure that people knew how to do the right thing with the tools that they had. And he was intimately aware of what that was supposed to feel like. And he was so concerned that they were going to have a problem with that aircraft. And unfortunately, that aircraft actually had a problem and crashed and killed that pilot and his crew. I think it was about a year after Grandpa was on it.
Yeah, it was a couple, 3-4 years ago, and it really wasn't because of the pilots. It wasn't because of the pilot's problem or the airplane problem. It was the one that happened down in Texas where they were flying in another fighter plane or something, and they misaligned their stuff, and the one clipped through the back end of the B-17 and cut its tail off, and they both ended up crashing and dying. So yeah, unfortunately, that plane is lost.
Yeah.
But and all the pilots, obviously, too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. But it was funny because Grandpa was very particular, and it was like he was, as he was talking about his experience on that aircraft that day, he was literally moving in the air, the controls that needed to be done, and fluttering the different levers. And
well, I think he did that actually at an Oshkosh air show. I think he went to an Oshkosh air show.
Yeah, that's possible.
And was able to ride it, and the pilot actually had him sit in the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, he did get to do that, and he also did another one.
That was where I thought he said he was like, hey, can I show you a couple things on this real quick? And made some adjustments to the controls, down on the engine, and I think he said that pilot was like, what did you just do? It's like, oh, well, I was trained on how to do this, because like apparently the whole plane just like smoothed out like glass. After Grandpa touched the controls and manipulated what it needed to do. It's like all of a sudden it flew better, more efficient than they ever had. They had more fuel when they landed. The plane flew smoother, and he was able to control the stuff and helped him bring it down. And the guy was like, "Oh my gosh, the plane flies better than it ever has!" Like, right?
I think he did that when he was in his 80s. This guy's been doing it
since what? Since he was like 17.
Yeah.
So he kind of knows how to fly that plane.
Yeah.
I mean, he flew the plane for flipping from here, from what? The air base right up north in North Dakota to Greenland or something. Yeah. And then on over to Molesworth Air Base, and then 22 times clear into Germany and back.
Yeah. Well, and he had
pretty
to fly
sure the guy knew how to fly that plane.
Iceland was one of his scariest landings.
Yeah, Greenland and Iceland.
That's right, yeah. Is that aircraft again?
Yeah, I mean, and you figure you're like 17, 18 years old, flying a bunch of dudes, and they just give you this plane, and we're like, go to England with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and he always talked about how everybody was still learning, and how his navigator needed some help on some of his learning on that, and that he had to help him course correct a few things, and they were in storms and all sorts of things. So, and not just storm, like a storm, like. He's going to land, and the wind is so intense that he's stopped in the air with full throttle trying to land. Like the wind is pushing against him so hard. He literally has to basically duck under the wind and drop like a rock. And he did it, and they survived. But
yeah, that was the one. I think he said it was either Greenland or Iceland.
Yeah. And
they were coming in so hard into the wind that the airspeed was like max. And they were pushing as hard as they possibly could with like literally no fuel left.
Right.
And he just kind of was like pushing it down, like, okay, we should be landing. And next thing you know, they're on the ground.
Yeah.
Just like
rolling backwards.
What?
They were down the ground.
Yeah, on the ground rolling backwards at full throttle.
Yeah, because of the wind.
Yeah, and somebody had to come out and like hook onto him or something. Something came out and hooked onto him. Insane. Yeah, that was a crazy story too.
Yeah.
And they never put these kinds of things into movies.
Not like that. No.
I guess it wasn't dramatic enough.
You don't think it was dramatic enough?
Well, and he said, I remember the story he's talking about flying the plane. He had to navigate into this thing. They had to go down in a fjord. They had to fly at a certain level in the fjord, and then they had to come around a corner and then fly down in a crack, like up through this fjord, and land on a strip that was completely invisible until you saw it at the last possible minute.
Yep.
And then that's how you navigated, and it was like this up a fjord, round a corner, and then like find a certain crag in the rocks, and then spin around and drop into it. And you didn't even see it until you're literally on it. To me, that's like, yeah. I always say that every time I think about old guys from the 30s and 40s, a lot of that generation that's not even around anymore. the kind of stuff that they did. They got bigger balls than anybody today, living today, I'll tell you
Right.
what. They had to.
Another thing my grandpa would talk about was that there was this system for navigating that said like D and dot or D and dot or something like it was two different tones, and you had to sit a certain way in when you were flying. Sorry. God bless you. God bless you. Do it again. God bless you. He sneezes 3 times when he's well. He's just in Colorado.
Yeah.
You're good. But one thing that that's the glider.
Yeah, just cut loose the glider.
I see that. Okay, I'll switch it. Can you see the little speck clear up there? Anyway, it's not a little aircraft, but it's tiny on camera. Anyway, there was a navigation system that Grandpa was always talking about that they used that put out 2 different kinds of tones, and if you were between the two, made a certain sound that made it so you knew you were on the right path to where you were going. The way these people had to fly these aircraft without all the technology we have now and having to read the stars and everything else is incredible.
Yeah, the dual tone thing, like you said, it was da dit and dit
Da
da or
dit.
something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what it is.
And you would hear it. And so like your antenna on the plane would line up, and if you heard one tone, you were going in a certain direction, and when you heard the other tone, you were going in a different direction.
Yeah.
And it was just literally based on how your antenna was pointing,
Right.
picking up those frequencies. And when they came together, I think they said you made, and I might be wrong by this, but it would make a solid tone, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's how you could tell you were on track for the direction.
Right.
It was based on that. And then it was like, I think the tones would get closer and closer together or something. I don't remember all of that.
Right.
But it was crazy listening to how he said to navigate that. It would be interesting to do a study and see what that was.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's ever documented it really good.
I don't know. This glider's really cool. Way up there.
There was a glider team in England that used to do this with fireworks tips of their.
Oh yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Look at that thing.
Yeah. We were trying to look up how to hear the air bosses calling for today because that's what the person's called that's in charge of calling out the aircraft and what's going on is the air boss for an air show. We were trying to find if there was a place we could listen to them, but you know, since we didn't pay for the ticket and all that stuff to get in the space, it makes sense that it's not available to us. But it would have been fun to be able to sit here and listen in. Sometimes if you bring a scanner radio, you can get on the aircraft scanning sites or channels and listen to the aircraft pilots. But we don't got fancy stuff like that.
Oh, we do, but I didn't bring it.
Well, maybe
I do have that one scanner thing.
Tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, we'll try it tomorrow.
Yeah. I was telling Nate, we do church on Sunday, but I think tomorrow's church should be us sitting here listening to church service, waiting for the air show to start. This is a pretty cool setup. And it's peaceful because there's like almost no internet. So you can't get distracted by doom scrolling. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the land of Sullivan, this is his favorite place. Just goes and hangs out. And hangs out with us well. Our boombox in case we want to try the radio. And we've got each other. Okay, so I have a question for you guys out there on the internet. I'd love for you to post an answer to this in the comments below. What is your favorite thing about our channel? Because we're so different than most channels. Because we're sharing with you all the different adventures that the 4 of us in our family have been going on. And life challenges and all the positives and all the crazy things and Sullivan's experiences. What's your favorite thing about us? What makes you want to watch us? Because we really just kind of selfishly just started this to be our own little diary for our family, some historical footage to show, to look back on. And for me, partially, it's because my grandmother had Alzheimer's and my grandfather had memory issues once grandma passed away. And I just wanted to make sure things were documented, and it's been a really good excuse and opportunity for Maddie and Sadie to learn how to do the editing and all that. I get to learn how to edit. Nate's been helping out and giving direction on things, but I'm just curious, like, what is the thing that attracts you to our family? What is it that you like about our vlog channel? And what would you like to see us do? So if you put those in the comments below, we will be happy to read them and respond. Right, Nate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of people are like, well, your channel is really diverse and does all these different things. And we've wondered if, we're doing the right thing with our channel on, because we're all just doing all sorts of different things. Is it because you guys genuinely get to see the adventures we go on and fixing cars and road trips and all that? Or what is it that you like? I'm just curious because we don't know. We're not you. So we'd love to hear from you. What are they, Nate?
F-16 Thunderbirds.
Yay. This is what we've been waiting for all day. What's funny is the sprinklers just turned on down this way, down past us. All these people are moving their stuff trying to get across the street before they hit.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, they are.
So this is how it is. Like, gets all quiet, and you're like, "Where is everybody?" So here he is, blasting smoke. He goes off that way, but like 4 of them went off to the south, so we don't know where they went. Oh, there's 2 of them coming together right up there. It's like, where did everybody go? And they're all circling and getting in place to come flying back in here in a big, massive chaos.
We're only about 60 some odd miles from Cheyenne, so sometimes they fly clear up there.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Oh yeah, see you right there.
Whoa. Right over the mountains. How pretty is that? Whoa. That contrast with the clouds.
Yeah. They come back in, they roll over.
Look at how tight they are.
So those guys go off that way, and the other 2 are going to come in from the north somewhere, because they all went off that way.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, whoa, look at those 4 over there. Yeah, but where's the other 2? Because they're going to come in all crazy.
The 4 are wrapping around behind you. They're over to the southeast.
Yeah, they're way back over here.
Up here they are.
See, I told you the other 2. Crisscross. They crisscross each other and then come back around.
Ooh, there were rings in the clouds that they dropped.
They go spinning out this way. I don't even know if I can catch these guys. They're invisible in the camera. Okay, ready? Here comes Delta. Delta's over there, coming in from the north right there. The 4-pack. It's coming around all hard.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm catching it. as far as I can tell. Those guys go swinging off that way. We're gonna make a turn, come back around. Where'd the other two go at? Those guys about to be coming in from somewhere. There goes one of them. And here comes the other one. On top of us. So those two guys are going off that way somewhere. You can kind of see them both flying off back out to the east. They're going off east somewhere. So then we're looking for Delta again. Where's the Delta quad of those four? There they are right there. Yep, see, told you they were coming around.
Wow. So pretty.
I don't know if I'm shooting these guys enough. They're going out of screen. I have no idea. I can't see them on the camera. So sorry if I'm missing half of this.
You're using a phone. It's okay.
All right, the other two are going to come back from the east somewhere. Where are they? Here they come.
Look at those guys fly.
The Delta team flew down there. I think they just broke apart. Coming back around over the top of the airport. Yep, there's two of them going in upside down on the classic look right there.
Look at that, right
tail
across.
to tail, look at that.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Tail to tail, upside down, right side up. That's a pretty classic look. Obviously not right on top of each other, but pretty dang close, and it looked amazing. That was an awesome look. So they go off that way. There's two more coming around somewhere else. Yeah, here you go. They're coming around this way. Oh. Yep.
They disappear so fast.
Yeah, here we go. Right here over the hotel.
Whoa.
They just lined up, looked like one plane coming in, and then one of them right in behind him. They spread out back into their formation. So here they come back around this way.
We were noticing at the house, like, if you hear them, they've almost already missed them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because there goes another guy. He's upside down, flying right through the middle. See, the cool part about these military displays is that, you know, once the first set of guys go through and they fly off, there's always somebody else coming through within a couple seconds right after it. So you're never waiting too long for anything to happen. So that guy's going off that way. Everybody else went off that way. Are they going to come together? Oh, here goes another one. See, flying over. Pretty awesome. There goes that guy. Now he flies off to the east. Now where's everybody else coming in at? Because they went north, so they got to be coming in super low on something. Or they're gonna sneak up behind us.
Up to your right.
Yeah, there they are. Tree.
Wow.
Pretty fun.
Looking for the other two.
Actually being pretty quiet, frankly, for Thunderbirds. That last single plane was a whole lot louder just because he was doing a whole bunch more small aerial tricks.
There's the two right
They
there
just
in the
did a
middle.
crisscross
Did
in
a
the middle.
crossover.
We missed it. Oh well. Yeah, see? Crisscross in the middle.
So the two are looping off to the east. The four are coming from the
Yeah, so the four are coming down in here over that building right there. Microscopic dots, but they're coming in a nice straight line. Coming in from the left. Right there, over the building. Smoke on.
Wow.
Change of formation as they did that. That's pretty awesome. So those guys go off to the west, behind the tree. Two guys came in.
Not seeing where the two went. They went out east and they disappeared.
Oh, there they are. They always come in super low. Like, here's like crisscross right in the middle. Oh yeah, they must have caught that one. They like come at each other and then just narrowly avert each other at the last second.
They just zoomed across the middle again?
Yeah, crisscrossed each other.
Totally missed it.
I know.
So fast. Oh, and then there's
the other four back there. So here's what I bet happens. Those four are going to come back in and around. These two are going to go flip around here, and they're all going to crisscross from east and west. Let's bet. Maybe. I don't know where I lost the four.
I mean, if you have a second when you look south, get the top of the hotel, there's people standing on the roof of the hotel. It's the craziest thing.
I always get nervous watching people on top of hotels these days. But whatever. Yeah, there you go. Four are right there.
Whoa, look at that.
Straight up, spread apart. Right in the sun. They're going to do a loop. Watch for these other two coming in this way. Here they are coming in. Yep, there goes the single one. Blasting off that way. Like, I don't even know how he got there, but he did. He was invisible. Military maneuvers. Huge loud jets and you have no idea where they are. So the four is swinging around to the west, back behind these trees. The other single went up over that way. I don't know where the other single is. Somewhere in the air, I would imagine. So, I mean, one of the things you got to think about is like how free it is to be. Oh yeah, so there's the four and the fifth one's coming in behind it. How free is it to be able to travel in 3 dimensions? You know, on the land, we're like driving back and forth, side to side. But in airplanes like that, you can fly in a formation, side to side, up and down, in every direction.
So cool.
Yeah, so here it comes. I bet this other guy, yeah, here he comes. He's over here to the right.
He's going out east right now. He's going opposites.
Yeah. So he's gonna flip around. They're gonna come through. All that smoke coming in right there. All 5 of them coming in. And let's see if they'll do a spread.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yep, they broke apart. Awesome.
This is cool.
That was awesome. Alright, now they're all swinging back around to converge right back over here.
Oh yeah, they're all coming
Right behind the tree. They're going to converge behind the tree. Let's see. There he is right there, see? Coming in. Coming in. Here goes a crisscross.
Ooh,
all
they
5 of them coming together.
What a sight with the mountains and all that, and the clouds and the rays of light coming through the clouds.
If I had a telephoto, I could probably keep up
here
with these
comes
guys.
one, like going really slow across from north to south.
Yeah, right over the airport, going like about as slow as he possibly can.
Wow.
And then he'll probably dump it and shoot straight up in the air with an afterburner, right?
Okay.
That would be awesome. Yeah, so when I was a kid, that mover right there, so he levels out and flies away. And they go straight up. So when I was a kid, that maneuver right there, he came in like that, and then you see the fire kick into the afterburner, and he just shot straight up in the air.
That's cool.
It broke the sound barrier too when it did that. So that's why they don't do it over land. Here comes the other 5 right there, flying over the building right there, coming across the middle.
There they are.
Smoke. And then they break apart. Yeah? No?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Or they stick together. That's really pretty.
I can't see if I'm capturing them, so I'm sorry if I'm losing them. Here goes the 5. Look for the number 1 single.
Number 6. So we could hear this over our house yesterday, but we couldn't see it.
Here comes the single, going super fast right here. Punch through the cloud. I'll go back to the 5 over here. They're behind the tree. They're behind the tree. behind the horse. Now they're behind the tree. Here we go. Over the building. Beams of sunlight coming through.
Wow. They look like they're attached to each other.
There you go. Nice big blooming flower. Split apart. So they're going to come around and go right through each other. So they make this big heart shape. Here they come down to the peak of the heart shape. And then here comes the single over the top of us here.
So he's like, that's noisy.
Yeah. So he's going out that way. The single is going to come back across right here. Right there behind the tree. He's coming around again really hard, fast, and tight. And that was a super tight turn. Comes right across here. Stays upside down. Pretty cool. Alright, where's the other four?
I don't know.
There they are. Flying over the city.
Clear out over there.
That was a super tight turn too, so here they come back around on this side of the tree.
Super cool.
Pretty awesome. And here's the other two flying through. So they're all going to go out that way, team up together. You can see the Delta flying off that way. And the other two are going to come and swing in behind them, I think. This was a formation we saw over their house yesterday. All four flying like that, and the other two came in next to them.
They're out there by that rain coming down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was happening over the house yesterday?
Yeah, that was the move they were doing yesterday. So now they're coming back, and they're going to do this thing where they come in low, and then they're going to shoot straight up in the air, all six of them right there. And this was a shot that the hospital paramedics guys were all happy to be a part of this thing because they got this shot in the background with their ambulance. Yeah.
That's cool.
So they'll kick on smoke here in just a second.
Oh, here it comes.
Behind the tree, figures. Over the building.
Coming in
So
over.
they'll kick on smoke right here.
Awesome.
And then they'll like all 6 of them in that formation. Yeah. Behind the tree.
Wow. All of them together.
Do you trust your friends that much to fly that close to each other?
My friends, I do.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Need a little rehearsal, but yeah, I would trust my friends to fly that close.
Yeah. I mean, we do in life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Wow. Look at them way up there.
See, and they stay in that formation perfectly as they're going up through there.
That's intense.
Turn that formation. Bring the formation around as if it's one big monster jet. Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Flying out.